Activation code required. Access granted. Warning. Evacuation sequence activated.
We're back. Welcome to the bunker.
Everybody wants to. Hey, how's everybody doing? It's the S-4 Bunker coming to you live from the Cascade Mountains here in Concrete, Washington, where it's, I don't know, I think spring is here. It's like 50 degrees. I'm about ready to go out and plant my garden. Not. It's supposed to hit like,
January's been a weird weather month.
Yeah, no, that's why it's going to be good. It's going to be a stupid year. Because the tulips are going to come up and freeze like they did, 3-4 years ago. Anyway, how's everyone doing tonight? We have Cole Wigleiter, we have Kayla Wigleiter, we have John Wigleiter, we have Rick Pursley, we have... wait, back up. So Rick is our paranormal skeptic / newbie, likes to learn about everything. We have Nikki, our psychic, and we have Rosilla... Well, our other psychic.
Slash author.
Slash author.
Slash author.
Slash medium. Yeah.
And tonight...
Slash ghost talker.
So tonight we're talking, like I said, everybody wants to rule the world. Conspiracies.
Ooh,
it's going to be an interesting night.
Conspiracy theory.
So sit down, put your seatbelt on, because,
it could go fucking anywhere.
That's right. I'm quite happy that Kayla's able to join us tonight.
Yep.
Her masters have given her the evening off, and finally the native people have the white man working for them. This is awesome.
Whatever.
Greatest time ever.
Dude, that's a conspiracy by itself.
We finally got our position back.
That's right.
Yeah.
Our rightful place.
Yeah. Oh my god. This is our land, so we get a...
Oh.
Dude, you wouldn't even be here. Jesus.
This is true.
My spiritual self would be here. Okay.
Oh my god. Okay, coming to you live from the cold.
Us natives aren't born.
Yeah.
We just pop up from the earth.
Yeah. We're born from that explains the smell of you.
And you live inside trees too, don't you?
You're like an orc then. You just come out of nothing.
Well, yeah.
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 But cuter.
Yeah.
So we actually, for any new listeners, we do have the Forest Moon Heavy Terrain Research platform that we are launching off, which researches and investigates anything mountain related. So, I mean, we've got reports of fairies and fae, we've got UFOs and lights in the sky, we got Bigfoot and other cryptids, and we have a case coming up pretty soon, and we'll see how it goes. Because down on Cascade River Road, we have a weird light. What?
Not anything mountain related. You take me up there to look at mountain flowers, I am tying you to a goddamn tree and leaving you.
But there's medicinal qualities to them.
Don't give a shit.
And if he tells you to look at the pretty flowers, just run.
But this one has a pretty red thing in it.
I'm not that worried. I've seen him shoot. What are you looking at?
I don't know. A mountain flower.
You stopped halfway through the conversation.
I'm listening.
Dead air.
I'm looking at mountain flowers.
Okay.
Because maybe the spirit of the mountain flower is making lights in the sky.
Alright, so Scientology obviously took Eric
And replaced him with
I don't know who
this
this is in my house.
Well, that's because I forgot my fucking tinfoil hat. What can I
shit.
say? Okay, oh my god, no, we are not going down the earth is flat.
Holy shit.
Yes.
Wait.
Yes, the Earth
And
is.
the birds really are real. I
What was that, Rick?
Isn't that one of the biggest conspiracy theories? Is that the Earth is flat?
No.
Actually, the Earth is not flat. It's in the shape of
Shut
a dinosaur.
the fuck up.
It
Oh my
is
God!
true.
Stop!
the shape of a dinosaur.
Yes, the Earth is in the shape of the dinosaur. What we know is the eye, and we are being controlled by the toast and spaghetti people.
Oh,
Nice, John. Nice.
The what?
The toast and spaghetti people.
did you learn that from your watch?
Nope. I went down this rabbit hole, and I know a
Oh,
lot.
come on, Celeste, not
Shape
you
of
two.
Eye of a dinosaur.
Oh.
Okay, at least it's rounded.
Kayla?
Yeah.
Kayla, check the roundtable message.
Yeah, the
on
chat.
Facebook. Check the chat.
Okay.
I don't know if you want to talk about that publicly. I have not a goddamn clue, but there's the info, dear.
Mm-hmm.
So for those that don't know, there was a name that was given to me. I just asked in chat, and Rosella came back with an answer, and I'm not hearing the person anymore. So maybe Rosella might be able to, but there's the offer.
Yeah, I mean, I can ask more if you want, Kayla.
Yeah, we're not gonna hit on that one. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Friend.
Okay.
I'm lost.
Well, the conspiracy that gets me upset really is the moon landing is fake.
Well, yeah.
Oh,
God,
yeah.
that always sets me off.
But how would they be able to land on the moon if it's just cheese?
Okay, so here's the deal, though.
Cheese. Okay. That's
So,
where the cheese comes
my
from.
dad-
Come on now.
Good segue.
Me and my dad talked about this a little bit. He had a cousin who was one of those guys who was insanely smart but grew up in the wrong area. So all of his intelligence went to farming. But at the age of 16, he showed my dad the moon landing in his closet. An almost exact replica of what you saw on TV back then.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, if I can create this with a peephole in my closet, imagine what they could do down in Hollywood.
Right.
So, I don't know anymore. Like,
And how long we had that technology though?
well, Dad was 16, so, like, it was at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Friend.
I was a baby and I was in the process of walking. I crawled right up to the TV and watched it. I held on to that TV so dang tight, and my mom and my grandmother came to get me to pull me away from the TV, and I started screaming. That is my memory of the moon landing.
Ooh.
Ooh,
So
that's a
Paul's
good
got
one.
her first question. How do you define a conspiracy theory and what are the main characteristics of one? So, you know, you have a lot of conspiracy theories that drop off the radar because once proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that it's fact, it's not conspiracy anymore. Conspiracy is going to have elements of, well, in some cases, a lot of bullshit, like Queen Elizabeth was a reptilian. Yeah, what the fuck ever.
Just got tired of that form.
Yeah,
Huh?
that's insane.
Queen Elizabeth just got tired of the form, so she changed.
Yeah. And, you know, and so conspiracies look like facts because of CGI. You can, and now we have AI that's actually replicating people and whatnot.
And doing a really good job of it, actually.
No shit. So
yeah.
I mean, it's gonna be harder and harder to
That's my path. ELA.
ChatGPT.
Look for truth.
Really?
Because of that.
No.
Because now we have AI that's, creating shit.
So,
True.
do you want the actual Webster's Dictionary
Yeah, go ahead.
definition?
Yeah,
Go
actually.
So, a theory that explains an event or set of circumstances as the result of a secret plot by usually powerful conspirators,
Right.
or a theory asserting that a secret of great importance is being kept from the public.
9/11. I mean, 9/11 is probably one of the biggest. Not so much anymore, but within months after it happened, oh my God, the theories of government insider, which
Who knows, man?
who knows? I don't even look at that. I don't even look at that rabbit hole anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not.
The biggest one is Kennedy's death. I mean, that.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
Who killed
So
Kennedy? Everybody still talks about who killed Kennedy and who did.
My now 12-year-old even talks about that one.
I mean, I think that's the most biggest government thing you could probably talk about, and I would believe that one.
It was a billboard in
Right.
downtown LA.
We have all the
Just
issues,
doesn't look
actually.
right.
You've got John Jr., because there's a lot of conspiracy around what actually took place.
Yeah,
And
right.
you've got Miss Marilyn, Marilyn
Right.
Monroe. And
Now,
I've talked to one
She
of
was
them.
killed by the Kennedy.
I've talked,
have talked to her.
I've talked to her, and I've talked to John Jr.
Maryland.
I'll say the Illuminati are real. It's historically proven. Adam Weishaupt started the Illuminati. Now, is it still active today? And does it actually rule the world?
And
That's
just half of the
conspiracy
shit
side
they
of it.
say about it actually true.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it was a secret society that delved into the Freemasons a lot, and
Yeah, but you can call any society a semi-secret society. Like,
Well-
there's certain members that people don't really know about. There's certain, and then it can all become conspiracy shit.
You know,
they can
what
make
I
a
did
conspiracy
learn
over
is-
what the Rotary Club is, or the Lions Club, or the freaking
Here's
any
a
of these
secret
things.
Spice Girl.
Probably.
Who's
She's
heard of
called
the-
Mary Spice.
show this is gonna should pique your interest. The Jesuit Society. Have you heard of them?
Are they Jesuits?
Well, when the Pope first came around, the Jesuit Society, I think, actually became what you would call the Pope's now Secret Service, because the Pope used the Jesuit Society as his underground group to go out and convert people.
So then the Pope's CIA, the Secret Service, would be considered the.
No, but
Templar
they protected the Pope. Is my point.
Yeah,
with them.
no, but that's the Templar Guard.
Okay, so maybe there's a tie with them.
Maybe.
Maybe they work together. But some think the Jesuit Society has more to do with who manipulates the Illuminati today.
Like, you know the guys with the big red pillows on their hats that have the big
Right, right.
scimitars?
We've talked about this a lot.
Yeah, those that's the guard of the Pope.
Right.
Scimitar guys.
And they are the Secret Service of the
And
Pope.
they're better than our Secret Service. Training-wise, I would say.
Training-wise, I don't know.
They also have a way
Willingness,
smaller
yes.
area that they need
Huh?
to.
Willingness, yes.
Right. So, have any of you guys heard of the Jesuits? The Jesuit Society?
No,
Yeah, I don't really know what it is.
Wow.
No.
That's something new then.
The Jews' best kept secrets.
Apparently. It wasn't
that
Jewish
fact.
though. The
Jesuits
Jesuits weren't Jewish.
weren't Jewish?
They're part of the Catholic. They're Catholic.
well,
So what do you
Look
have
'em up.
on them?
They're all still Jews.
Huh?
They're all still Jews. In the end.
They cross over
What
on.
They
info
follow
do you have
Jesus,
on 'em?
right?
Huh?
What info do you have on them?
Oh God! Did I? Okay, let me look for my notes on them. So again, I'm up to like 5,500 videos that I have to watch. Some of them are 3 hours. Some of them are 8 hours, and it's everything paranormal, everything history, everything you name it.
Wow.
Well, I have a 4 terabyte box to fill up. And it takes a lot more to fill up a 4 terabyte than I realized. Oh, it's fun. So much fun. But getting away from that for a second, I have the pyramid of the elites. There's a question mark at the very, very top of the pyramid because nobody really knows. Some think it's the Pope that actually pulls everybody's strings.
Rothschild.
And the reason they say that is if you look at every U.S. president, they've all gone to the Pope.
What? No, they not even.
Maybe not for. Yeah. For example, even Obama actually went out to the tarmac of the Pope's plane and kissed his hand.
Yes.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
even if they weren't Catholic.
No, that's
it's
my
still
point.
Every president
the proper
also meets
greeting
with Kim Jong-un.
for a
Every
president
also
to
meets with the Chinese president.
Right. No, exactly.
They
Do they do that to anybody else?
Huh?
Yes,
Do they
if
do that
that's
for
the
anybody
custom.
else? No.
Yes.
Only the Pope.
What?
What? Do the hand
Kiss his hand?
No. Go out and meet him.
Yes.
Oh yeah, depending on what country they're from and the status of the person.
Absolutely. But, friend, you also got to remember, okay, it's one of the biggest arguments in American history that America wasn't started with God. Well, in a way that's true, in a way it's not. Friend,
Yeah.
America would not have gotten anywhere near as far as it had without God in our schools, in our communities, friend, without the churches that we had. Most of them did follow the Pope at that time.
Okay.
Friend, he has always been held in high reverence in American society. If anyone wants to be president, or has wanted to be president, they do claim a religious entity, and it's 90% of the time God.
Yeah.
Friend, and they do claim to have reverence for the Pope and what he stands for.
Right. I don't know
And
about
yet-
today so much. I mean, oh my God, there's so much division within Catholicism because of what today's Pope stands for. He stands for the people. The poor. Which they all should have, but this one's coming out more and more with controversial people loving same-sex marriage. He came out with all the controversial societal stuff this one supports.
If it wasn't for the fact that COVID happened, there would have been way more past presidents at her funeral. The Queen's.
Right.
Friend, they do hold just as much reverence for her, because without England, America wouldn't have happened.
No, absolutely.
Friend,
Absolutely.
yeah, Rosella, where's our baked goods? God damn
Yeah,
it.
where's my cookie? So there are seven tiers to this pyramid. The first, the highest tier is a question mark. The second tier is Illuminati and the Committee of 300. Look up the Committee of 300. I haven't read a whole lot about it yet because I got so much other shit I'm reading about it. Look up the Committee of 300 though. It is one of the interesting ones.
Those are the guys that said, this is Sparta, and then kicked the guy into the well.
No.
Oh.
The third tier is your Knights of Malta, the Illuminized Freemasonry, the Skull and Bone Society, which I know most people have heard of by now because of the Bushes and, Jim Carrey, not Jim Carrey, different Carrey. What was his first name? John Carrey, there you go. You got the Black Nobility, you've got the Bilderbergers. They are in the third tier. The fourth tier is the Royal Institute of International Affairs, the Council of Foreign Relations, which is a fact, the Trilateral Commission, which is a fact, the Club of Rome, the private foundations, and the European Union. The fifth tier is military intelligence agencies, high-level political structure, organized religions. The sixth tier is low-level political structure, which would be your school board and your more local politics, mass media, And the very bottom is the public because, well, we're the most ignorant. We're the ones being controlled. So that is your hierarchy of secret societies that control the world, supposedly.
Well, now, the Bilderberg isn't a secret society so much as it's a... because
it used to be. It used to be, but you can actually thank Alex Jones for being one of the big ones to really expose them, as well as Bohemian Grove. Now, Bohemian Grove's not on there because Bohemian Grove is a private club for the elite. Basically,
They're not a secret anymore.
I was
yeah, they have a website that actually tells you. No, they're secret in that you cannot go in. You cannot attend.
So tell me what they actually discussed.
Huh?
Tell me what they actually discussed.
Well, nobody ever knows.
Exactly.
They put out their agenda. They actually do publish that now.
That doesn't mean shit.
It doesn't. And it doesn't. They actually release what they want you to know. Who is in membership of that meeting? But like Hillary Clinton, they actually took a picture of her going to one of them, but she wasn't on the membership list. Because it was illegal. It would have been illegal at the time. I can't remember the act, but there's an act that prohibits political leadership of going to an international and conducting American business with secretive international leaders. So yeah, if they would have actually, which they kind of did prove it, but because somebody had a picture of her going to the Bilderbergs. But, you know, they kind of, because of all the press coverage they had 10 years ago, or maybe longer, they kind of begrudgingly had to kind of release, well, this is what we're going to talk about, and here's who's going to be there, and blah, blah, blah. But, no, you're right. They
were becoming more public in the late 1980s. And mid 1990s, they were becoming much more public. Then in the early 2000s,
but only public, only public in the sense that they released a public itinerary and a public members list.
No, they had paparazzi stalking out, because I remember like things like People magazine. A number of other, even a couple of newspapers had people, and they were being stalked by the paparazzi, and the paparazzi is what brought them into being because of and that was in the late 80s into the early 90s.
Right.
And then you had a number of other ragtag magazines, shall we say, started getting more shots of, with their paparazzi, getting more pictures and shots of people going in, and they had reporters on the scene trying to get more scoop, and basically they started with names. They publicly started with different names of celebrities and those with extreme amounts of money going in.
But that's the thing. It's all fake. We don't know shit still.
We don't know shit because they ain't going to tell you exactly what they talk about.
Because think of how long the paparazzi has been doing like shit on Hollywood.
Yep.
So then why didn't they know that Robin Williams was so depressed he was going to kill himself? I mean, they followed him around for years. They should know this shit then.
No. Like that.
Well, shit. You got Michael Jackson.
If we know, if they're a public entity now because we know so much about them because of paparazzi, then we should know everything that's going on with them. We don't know shit still.
Nope.
That's like saying we know everything that's going on in the White House. We don't know shit about that place. And it's open to the public.
I was just making a point as to when they really became more public.
But they're not public.
And how all of that really came about.
They're not public until they actually put a fucking video camera in the room so everybody can listen to what they're talking about.
You're talking.
She's talking
public-
just came to public, like came to
It's
mainstream.
the exposure.
Where everybody decided
The
that's what.
exposure came to
Yeah.
the public.
Right, not the actual, all of their business and shit. But
and again, the exposure, they were pissed off because look them up. Alex Jones approaches a few of the big billionaire, trillionaire types, and he got pissed off because he brought up the Bill of Rights. That's something I can't talk about. I mean,
they were pissed in the 90s. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
they were really pissed. They were, matter of fact, if I remember correctly, they were threatening to not just sue, but to take down any reporter, any photographer, and completely eliminate them from being. They were blacklisting them.
oh, that's the kind of shit that people start disappearing over.
They were
that's-
hardcoring it.
isn't that when all that like New World Order shit started coming up?
Well,
like
No, New World Order came out in the 70s.
the secret freaking
They were
government
talking about
under
New World
Well,
government.
like it is honestly amazing what some people, like what some organizations will do to keep certain secrets. Like Queen Elizabeth, for example, when she did her coronation, it was televised. First time a coronation of an English monarch has ever been televised,
Okay.
and all but 20 minutes of it was televised. There was 20 minutes where they had to shut off cameras. Everyone from CBC or from BBC had to leave.
Because it's their own special thing.
Yeah.
And no one knows what happens in that time.
That's when they did the satanic rituals.
That's when she became a lizard woman.
It has something to do with the church.
With what? Oh, the church.
It's when the bishop comes back.
Yep.
Well, I gotta be perfectly honest. Wouldn't it be like your Catholic confessions, where it doesn't mean the same thing if it's not a one-on-one experience?
Yeah, but
Yes.
during her coronation, 2 people from the BBC tried to hide in the building.
Yeah.
They were tried for treason and executed.
Well, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That is treason. You are not to view that part of the ceremony. You were told that you committed treason against your country.
So 2 people hid in the back during the Queen's, this last Queen then.
Yes, Elizabeth. Because hers was the first one that was televised.
Killed from it?
They didn't see shit, supposedly. Supposedly they caught them before they saw anything.
Yep.
But it was still treason because
But
they asked
trying
them
to be in that area when it was going on was considered treason.
They wanted to see her in her lizard form.
It is an instant
Correct.
execution.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, it would be like some random person touring the White House and sneaking into the Situation Room and trying to listen to
It's a secrets.
secrets.
Yep. It'd be the same. That's the same analogy.
Yeah, they'd probably get tried just the same.
Yeah, so it's just a
I mean,
death sentence.
it is, but it isn't, because at least then you're not seeing, like, that's actual discussions of, like, things, plans. That is just a ceremony.
You don't know that.
You don't know that, yeah.
There is a moment where some stuff has to be passed down at a certain point, and you don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Or when it happens. If that's the point, then I can understand that.
There's some secret stuff that does happen during that.
That's
That's
which becomes her draconian form.
Secret family
Yeah.
shit. But that's crazy. No
Yeah, when they
matter,
pass their
like,
life essence.
Oh.
just a person.
But and there's a lot of crossover. You're right, Rosella. There's a lot of crossover between cults and conspiracy, especially when it comes to ruling the world. And a cult comes into a lot of play with Illuminati, and I mean, so there's a lot of parallels and crossing lines of.
And you're right,
Holy
Scientology is one of the biggest ones because of everything they seem to have their hand in.
Yep.
For example, Hollywood.
And disappearing people. They have their own prison.
I've actually read tons of books about that, like about Scientology. It's like it's like an oh my god, you can't look away thing, and you've got to keep your eyes on the car wreck because you just can't believe that it's happened to people. It's just unbelievable. I have several psychology degrees and psychiatry, all these things, and I still cannot believe that these people are still like blackmailed and
Manipulated,
forced into these things. It's just terrible. But yeah, like Scientology is the ultimate. I think the worst one that exists.
Well, they have their own. They have their own prison because there was actually when I can't remember his name. We actually talked about this on the show here 2-3 years ago.
I thought they just locked them in their room like Tom did to his wife.
That too.
He's a whole kit and caboodle of stories.
Yeah.
No, they're one of the big leaders. His wife disappeared.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I can't remember. And there was an actress, and she's the actress from
King of Queens.
Who?
King of Queens.
Oh, that's Carrie. Yeah, the girl that plays Carrie.
Kings, yeah. She went out and searched for this woman because they were friends. And yes, they actually found a prison that the Church of Scientology has, where if you don't abide by their rules, they will lock you up in a prison with very heavy security, which that goes against all of our laws.
And if you notice, she's no longer really doing much.
Nope.
Yeah.
It shows how much they actually control down there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've read her book and I saw like all the Scientology, aftermath and everything. I follow her actually on Facebook as well too. And David, I think it was David because it's been a long time that I've watched it. But he stopped doing some stuff too, I think. I remember him driving out to this house that they thought that the wife was locked in.
Yeah.
But I don't remember it being like I don't remember her saying it was a prison. I think it just was like
no, that wasn't the prison. The prison was in a different location.
Okay. So I don't know about that. Where did you hear about that?
The same video. If you watch the documentary on the whole thing, it was in the same documentary.
Okay, so I don't remember that part, but I mean they even brainwash people to pretty much kill themselves. It's just insane.
Leah Remini.
That's who it was. That's who it was.
Actress.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like her.
And
she's awesome.
She has a YouTube channel where she talks extensively and does her own interviews with folks who have escaped.
So when you're looking,
I have a question about that though. Just because I don't know anything,
when you look at stuff like that, it makes you wonder if MK Ultra is a part of that.
Okay, do Amish communities have their own prison?
The barn.
Honestly, I'm just asking.
I don't know about Amish
because I think that their thing is shunning you and treating you just like crap, and that's your prison because you feel like you can't get away, and you don't know how to function in society and have no money, so you have no choice but to stay.
So
I think it's a mental prison.
I don't know about the Amish, but I do know that Hutterites do have a form of a prison.
Okay.
But you don't get to stay there very long.
Is it in the barn?
Yeah.
Huh?
No, I was just asking because I'm trying to figure if there's any other religious organization
where
that
the bar is in the
also does that within the United States. I'm not saying that you know what I mean. I just am wondering about where the line for that actually is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, they could call it a reform area or a reform camp. We have those all over the damn place. And there's a lot of those that are ran by city or ran by a special organization that does reforms for this or that or whatever, which could basically be considered the same thing as a prison, depending on what they're trying to reform and shit. Yeah.
Well, there was a police department down in Louisiana that they had a group of about 20 cops that were taking people that they deemed without sort of trial or any provocation. They'd arrest them, bring them to this house, torture them for days, deprive them of food, water. They'd tase them repeatedly, and that had been a rumor and everybody's considered it a rumor, except for people that had actually been there. But everybody's like, well, a lot of them were criminals. But
and the sad thing about that is, they don't know who to call. Who do you call? Internal Affairs? Well, Internal Affairs, in a case like that, backwoods Louisiana, you're going to disappear in backwoods Louisiana. Real easy.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, if you think about organizations that have their own vigilante justice, they've been around forever. You can take all of the gangs and add those to the vigilante justice, or the KKK and add that to vigilante justice. There's all kinds of organizations that do their own.
What are you going to say,
it makes me laugh. Because we're talking about this like our government isn't the biggest one.
No, absolutely.
No, not well. Like, okay, Rick, you talk about this thing in Louisiana. Like, no one believed in residency schools for the natives until, hey, we just found 500 bodies underneath a school.
Right.
Yeah, that's something.
And then all of a sudden, we feel bad, but these ones aren't now residential schools. These are reform schools, so they're not the same thing.
It is the
Bull
same
fucking
thing.
shit.
Yeah.
Well, and that's what I'm saying, is that people everywhere, it depends on what you call it. If you call it
conversion therapy.
Fucking
conversion therapy.
Fucking fat camp.
Do you guys remember those camps that were there for the longest time? There's still a few of them around and everything, but
gay camp
that would say, I can make your child not gay.
Yeah, that's
you
conversion
send them
therapy.
here, and we will make sure that they are not gay. Well, you can't just do that.
No, and when they investigated some of the conversion therapy fucking places, they had a room where they were torturing kids. And they shut them the fuck down. But when they're in international territory, like Brazil, like Argentina, the U.S. can only do so much.
Excuse me.
But we've got them here in the U.S. too.
Right. Well, the whole gay camps always made me laugh. You take a bunch of gay kids, you put them all together, you beat the shit out of them during the day, so at night they go look for comfort from other gay kids. What the fuck are you doing?
When they raided one, they actually had all these kids with electrodes on their heads, and they were shocking them when they showed scenes of gay sex, and they were showing these kids what real sex is supposed to look like, a man and a woman.
Exactly. So
and they were shocking
you
them.
would think that it was bad innately because of the pain that was caused when you saw something like that. Yeah. There was all kinds of horrible shit.
That's fucking torture, hands down.
Yeah.
And so they did start shutting some of them down, but they're still approved in Texas. You imagine that, Rick?
But
that's the problem.
Still these kind of camps everywhere.
Doesn't mean I agree with everything.
Oh, I know. I had to give you shit. You're our resident.
That's the biggest problem, is when we figure out that these things exist, and we shut one down.
10 more pop up.
Great. No, but great. We did a great thing.
Right.
No, we didn't. We didn't do enough. Everyone that worked there needs to go through it.
Oh no, I agree.
Not just the president. They need to go through that.
I won't say what I would do, but yeah, at least go through it. Shock the fuck out of them.
Yeah. Friend.
Those are the people that need to disappear.
Well, we do internment camps.
No, I know.
As government entities.
That's a shit history.
Still do internment camps.
And here's the thing with history. If you don't learn history, you're going to repeat it.
Oh, you're going to
anyways.
You
won't believe it.
Right. I was in a movie about the internment camp.
But when the internment camps for the illegal immigrants from Mexico came out, half the population said, "No, those don't exist. That's not
right."
No, we do not care.
You talking about the one a couple of years ago where they separated all the kids and they had thousands of kids in little cells at the border?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we have an immigration problem, so now look at the Texas border now.
Well, we
I
are
mean,
never.
come the fuck on.
How do I put that? So, in the United States, we'll just say in the United States, okay, we always have to have a freaking bad guy. We always have to have somebody that we gotta put our hate onto.
Yep.
Like, as a culture, it just seems to be the damn thing. Because very first people, oh, well, it was the English, we came over here, cool. Right? English were bad people. Then it was the Native Americans that were the bad people. Then it was the black people who were the bad people. And then we cycled through every European freaking country being the bad person. And then Japanese, and then Chinese, and then, like, we have to have somebody to hate. It seems like that has to be a thing.
Yeah.
For our country.
Okay.
And who we're hating
Yes,
changes every, like, 20 years to being a whole different culture of people.
I think I know why the American government is letting us know about aliens.
Huh.
They found oil on Mars.
Probably.
You think so?
Mars needs freedom.
No. Diamonds. They found diamonds on Mars in the acid fucking sand. Yeah.
Well, you know, that's probably going to be our next big thing to hate, is anything different than human beings.
It already is.
Like, come on.
Oh yeah, no, that already has been quite a while.
Anyone that's different. So look at Ethereans. Look at these kids. I mean, my daughter's one of them. She wears ears on her head and a tail, and and tries to emulate the wolf. But you look at some of the videos on YouTube of the haters, and I mean, they attack them in stores, and anyone that's different. Look at the LGBT community.
Yeah.
I mean, look at anyone that's not Christian. Sometimes, not so much today, but they always have to have a group of people they hate on.
Yeah, and that's what I said. The group changes, and sometimes it can be a good 50 years. It's the same group of people.
Yeah.
But sometimes it can be a year or a couple of months that we're just hating on this specific group and saying, oh man, fuck these people. They're terrible people.
Yeah.
And then next week, oh hey, you know what? Those guys aren't so bad, but check these people out. And it just continues. We have to have somebody to hate.
I think
Like
it's human
innate
nature to
nature.
a degree. It's
I think we
ingrained.
had somebody to blame.
It's ingrained in humans, really based on how you were raised.
Right.
And not even how you were raised, because
Well, not how you were raised either.
your
because-
life experiences can change that.
Yeah, and it also really does depend on what country you're born into and the ideals of that country as well. Because you're going to get that shoved down your throat. No matter what country you're in, you're going to get shoved down your throat that we are us. This is who we are. You know?
Nature versus nurture.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. And half of it is in human nature itself. You could have a person that was raised 100% properly, or whatever you want to call it, and they end up being like some psychopathic, druggy, whatever. And that has nothing to do with the way that they were raised. It has to do with the decisions they made after
Right.
they were old enough to make their own
I can't
decisions.
remember his name because I got 11 billion names going through my head. But
Yeah.
the leader
Also,
of
you play it, you know.
the leader of the white national, the white Aryan nations, his son. So he had two kids, and the one son was a football player and hoorah, and he took care of him. The other son, if he didn't show any racist bone in his body, hate the black man, hate the Native American, anyone that's not white, we gotta hate on him. Then he beat on him. But he still wanted to prove himself to his dad.
Well,
But when he got older, he saw he did a 180, and he hates racists. And he saw what his dad was doing was wrong.
Yeah.
Because he actually was the creator of the Aryan nations in Idaho. I can't remember his name. But he... Say that again?
Nothing. There's plenty of people, though, that got out of their situations as well as plenty of people that got into situations they never should have gotten into. It's whatever path you're you end up taking. And
Right.
in the end, it's all on that person. They can blame it on their past, their history, their whatever. But the choices that you make are your choices to make.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And people need to start owning up to the fact that they chose their own paths. Like, there are certain things that, yeah, will totally screw up your life. Will make
Right.
it horrible, will make it hard as shit. And make it way harder for you to choose this path versus that one. But in the end, it really is coming down to free will and your own decision on where you're going.
Mhm.
So actually, so a thing on this kind of thing showed up on my Facebook memories from something I shared in 2017. So it says, I refuse to hate police officers. I refuse to hate black people. I refuse to hate gay people. I refuse to hate people. I refuse to hate. Except for the San Francisco 49ers. I hate the 49ers. but like, the whole idea of it is refusing to hate. You can go on to say racism is bad. But to say you hate racists, it can't be true.
That makes
No
you
one
racist.
can hate racists.
Huh.
Guys, this also
Everyone
goes
has-
into ETs.
Everyone has racist family members.
Right.
Every single person in the world has racist family members.
Mhm.
That you love for other reasons.
We're not just talking humans here either, guys. We're talking about non-hate.
Yeah.
Then it's
Yeah.
also non-hate of other beings.
Mhm.
Which let me tell you, that's not so easy.
Well, and I mean,
Yeah,
it doesn't,
I like Bigfoot, but I hate Dogman.
right.
Yeah, I mean,
It doesn't
come
even
on.
go into, like, it doesn't even have to be, like, alien beings or anything like that
Right.
either. Like, I've met some of the coolest people, and then, like, they fucking are just assholes to any kind of animal. You know what I mean? Like, fuck that, and they'll, like, kick a cat on the street or something stupid. But it's like, why? What? You know what I mean?
Well, it's like
I think are cool.
it is like it's like how we are. There are good humans, bad humans, and humans that are just like, ugh.
Yeah.
You know, you get frustrated with them. Well, it's the same way with the ETs, and that's why I said it's hard sometimes because it's not a hate of all beings or races of beings or types of beings. It's hate itself and what it does to the soul,
Yeah.
what it does to the body, mind, and spirit.
But you know, I've always been of the opinion that there are no good human beings and there are no bad human beings. That every human being in this world has done some messed up shit, just like every human being in this world has done an act of kindness. I think it's which one, in the end, ends up outweighing
How
the
many
other.
good deeds have you done versus the bad deeds?
Right? Because honestly, I don't know a single human being that hasn't done something fucked up in their life. And I don't know a single human being who hasn't done a random act of kindness some point in their life.
What? Just say it, Cole.
I kind of want to find one now.
What?
Yeah.
An act of kindness?
No.
No,
an act of bad.
somebody who
Never done
hasn't
one.
done
Oh.
one. But
I believe there are people that are, and I would imagine it's a very few, but I think there are legitimately the people that do the worst in the world. I mean, it just kill indiscriminately. I'm not talking Hitler, who clearly had a path that was laid out. I mean, he had some things, and he just decided to shot off him. His side lost a war.
yeah.
No, that was all about art school. He didn't get admitted to art school when he was 8, so he hated the world.
Yeah.
But even he could have done a random act of kindness. Like he might have
He
opened
did.
a door for someone.
Yeah.
No, and that's what I'm talking about. Is if you actually look at him before the whole dictatorship and everything else,
Yep.
actually, pretty much everybody who knew him in art school and before said that he was a great dude.
He had a Jewish doctor.
Yeah.
He had the Jewish doctor. He kept him out of the concentration camps. That's not a made up thing. It is historically documented. His personal physician was a Jew, but he'd been their family physician since he was a boy. So it was in. But my point was, I think there are a limited amount of people around the planet that are born without souls, that just do not have the ability to. They just don't. I mean, you say, well,
that's called psychosis.
What?
Well,
psychosis.
Yeah.
Well, some of them.
I think, we have schizophrenia in our family, but I think there's a difference. I think these people there is no good. They can't. They don't know how to. They just don't know right from wrong. They haven't been tried. People haven't tried to teach them.
So a person can be born psychopathic. Okay,
Yes.
they can be born psychopathic, but it does not 100% mean that they're going to be a murderer or there are certain things that a person like that can do to be more mainstream and to try to emulate different emotions, even though they can't have those emotions necessarily themselves.
As long as they stay on their medication.
Without meds.
There is a hole in your theory if you believe in it. Jesus.
Oh, yeah, I guess that. But, okay, and I'm not trying to be a dick here. Like, really, I'm not. But there are, 30 years that are unaccounted for of Jesus' life.
He was out doing LSD and shrooms and fucking everybody in the village.
Not say 30, because he was 33 when he died.
Yeah, so from age 9 or something through 32, I think 32, yeah.
Well, that 50 years he was out on his carpenter apprenticeship under his dad.
Yeah. But no,
right. But I mean,
the story, though, he never did anything against someone else. I don't know anyone else that would
fit
get stabbed in the side and say, "Forgive them, Father, for they do not know what they do."
No, for sure. Okay,
most
if you do take Jesus into account, but also if you're taking Jesus into account, he wasn't necessarily human, was he?
At that point in time, yes, he was.
Yeah, he was half. If you go,
he would have been like a demigod, basically.
Human.
No, he was human,
right?
Oh. At that point, he would have been considered human.
Yeah. Because he's lived among men.
Okay. I mean, there's got to be an exception somewhere. I just have never met anyone in my own personal experience that hasn't done something fucked up and something great at the same time.
There hasn't been really a
So I have an announcement then.
So far,
So. When I die, I'm not going to heaven.
No.
I'm going to hell to do research. I'm going to find someone and then bring them to Kayla.
Someone who's never done an act of kindness.
Yes.
I want to see the person that's never done an act of kindness, because even if you're going by the Bible and all that jazz, right? Even supposedly the devil at one point
has done
acts of kindness.
I'm going to die before you. I know this for a fact. So when I do bring them back to you, you'll still be alive. I'm just leaving them here with you for that awkward moment.
That's fine. I would actually like to meet somebody on either side of that.
He's going to meet the one that did 39 acts of kindness, but 40 acts of evil.
No, I want to find someone who has never done an act of kindness.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be so weird. It's going to be just one homeless dude in a corner. Just some homeless dude that's done nothing.
Why are you going to fuck with the homeless?
Yeah.
Jesus,
why you got to be like that, John?
I just feel someone who would never do an act of kindness has to be homeless.
Never mind. I'm leaving you with your mother. I already found him.
I've done acts of kindness. I fed the cat under the house. Jesus. That's acts of kindness. Okay.
And Jesus was homeless.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh.
Yeah. Look how he turned out.
That still reminds me, there's this dude in
died on
Atlanta.
A stick, so.
And I saw this dude. He wore sandals and a robe. He looked like Jesus. And I saw him every day. I had to drive to Fort McPherson. And, I mean, he looked homeless. The dude was a fucking millionaire.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that happens more often than you think.
Yeah.
When me and Kayla lived up in Birch Bay, there was a guy that used to sit on the side of the road, and he was a vet with a wheelchair, and held the sign. Always got a few bucks from everyone. Me and Kayla bought him a coffee a few times, and then one day it was just started pouring raining out of nowhere, so we offered him a ride home, and he accepted, and we took him to his home. He's got like a 3-story home, and 4 cars in the driveway. I'm just like, Jesus, dude.
He probably got out of the wheelchair and walked up to the door.
Nope.
Didn't
He
Nope.
was in the wheelchair.
Okay.
He was a real Army vet. But
Okay.
Friend, he makes more money in a month than Kayla does in a year.
Yeah.
Yep. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Okay.
You've got permanent panhandlers.
Yeah, and that's how he makes his money. Like, he doesn't do anything else. And he makes good money doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
So, friend,
It's crazy.
Future
Wild
career.
work.
yeah, many walks of life, whatever.
That is his job.
Yep.
Huh.
Well, recently I got into watching these weird YouTube videos, okay? Like, honestly. And they're, like this guy, and he just goes up to random doors, and he knocks on the door, and if a person answers, he talks to him for a little bit, and then he hands them whatever the equivalent of their month's rent is.
Damn.
And says, here, I paid your rent for you.
You gotta give him credit. What's his
Walks away.
page? Do you remember?
My
That
daughter
was-
watches this.
I think it was, that was Epic.
That was epic, yeah.
That was Epic. Yeah.
That's his YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And, like, just weird stuff like that, but just out of the blue. And everybody's like, how can you do this? And he goes, man, I make more money giving this money away
Yeah.
than I make
Yeah.
keeping this money because of the views that it gets giving the money away.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
Yeah.
it's so weird to me that you could go down and hand out $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 like it's absolutely nothing, because
You can make
with the amount of money that you just handed out, you made
like triple that.
$500,000 in sponsorships and whatever else.
But the thing is, that's what most people don't realize is guys like that, like him and Mr. Beast and these guys, they work 18-hour days doing it.
Oh, absolutely,
Yeah.
because they have
Yeah.
to do all the footage, they have to do
Oh, yeah,
everything
they have to
to
do
make it
editing
up
of the
there.
video. They have
They're
to do,
freaking actors, producers, and
Yeah.
for sure. So, I mean, they put the time and the effort into it.
Like,
It's just crazy to me that we have, like, a whole huge group of people that's what they do for a living, is help other people.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
the
Yeah.
world's changing.
It just seems
No.
odd. You know what I
The way it's
mean?
happening is changing.
Yeah.
The world is not changing. People have been doing that for years. And that's the thing. It depends on also where you are, who you're around. Friend, John, I tried to do that. Where did I go to the store? Yesterday or the day before?
The day before.
The day before, friend. A lady was in Fred Meyer's and she forgot her wallet. Friend, now we're not doing that great this month. It's a normal month for us. It's not like we have a whole bunch of extra money, but I offered to pay her bill. Friend, every moment you can do something like that for someone else.
Yeah, your small acts
You
of
just have to
kindness.
figure out or see it.
Yeah.
Friend, she refused because she wasn't buying them for herself. She said, well, no, I'll just, friend, my friend's going to pay me back for this, so I don't want to do that to you. Which was fine. If she didn't want it, that's her. That's up to her. But
It's a choice.
yeah, friend, and it wasn't very much. Like, it was probably only a $15 bill. But
Oh.
yeah, like it was nothing. Friend, but all I heard was she forgot her wallet at home and couldn't pay her bill. So I walked over and said, well, what do you need?
Yeah.
Friend, the first time Mom saw that in Canada, she couldn't believe it because it wasn't a $15 bill, it was a $400 bill.
It was a $400 bill from this little old lady that then couldn't find her purse, so the guy behind was like, just swipe the card.
Yep.
Holy crap.
And I was like, what just happened? Like, I don't see that. That's not something that
And so
I go to the grocery
that's
store
the
and
thing.
see, you know?
We tell
Must be
that story.
baffling.
We tell that story, and people from the United States are baffled by it. But that's what I grew up with.
I will say that during my time in Canada, I did see more random acts of kindness there that I've seen probably my entire rest of my life living in Washington. During that, like...
Or nicer.
Yeah, during that, like, year and a half period of time that I lived there, I saw way more random acts of kindness than I have the other 30-something years of living here.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I know why that is. You know that whole period of the 1900s where you guys went through Prohibition? We didn't. We're not still angry.
Oh, good God.
Yeah, we don't have the Yankees.
Okay, so you've got the Pope.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of the Black Pope?
I do not have the Pope here. Quit telling people that.
Have you ever heard of the Black Pope?
Is this supposed
There's
to
a
be
black
like the
pope?
Pope of the satanic ritual?
No,
No,
what the hell are you talking
no.
about?
Yeah.
Is that a something?
No. So would the Black Pope maybe be the assistant to the Pope?
What? No.
No?
No.
You might want to clarify this real fast.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about skin color.
Exploitation movie.
That's what they called him, was the Black Pope. And he was the head of the Jesuit order.
Oh. Well then, no. I've never even heard of that.
You know.
This is just a theory. So the Black Pope was the head of the Jesuit order, and it was their job to start wars to go out and convert.
They are not sanctioned by the Pope then.
Okay. So look up the Council of Trent in the 1500s.
Okay, what is this?
Well, I've heard of that.
That was part of the Jesuit order. And if you look up the Jesuit oath.
Okay.
So the Jesuit oath,
I've heard it too.
Jesuit, and that's part of the Jesuit order.
What the hell is this?
So this all happened at the time of Martin Luther, and the job of the Jesuit order was to crush all the Protestant Reformation.
Okay, you know, and I'm just gonna throw this out here, but isn't this... Okay, it kind of reminds me of, like... Okay, this is gonna sound dumb. But it reminds me of Game of Thrones. Okay? Where you got, like, all of these people doing all this shit, fighting over everything, and then you got...
So maybe Game of Thrones
people
was
on the
based
wall
on this.
that, you know, take their oath and they just chill on the wall and, like, protect the realm. Okay? That's kind of what this sounds like to me. Like, it's just a group of dudes that are like, yeah, we're gonna just forget about everything and protect this shit. Like, you know what I mean? It's freaking weird.
So according to this, every evangelical leader is part of the 33rd degree Masons. And that covers Billy Graham, President Carter was, Robert Schuller, James Dobson.
I mean, it's maybe.
Have you ever heard of the Shiny Happy People?
Yes.
Yeah.
The cult?
Yeah.
So it's interesting because I watched, there's a whole series of interviews from people that were part of the Shiny Happy People. And they brought up Bill Gothard. Well, I've been to Bill Gothard, so apparently that was part of this whole thing, but it didn't stick. Because Bill Gothard, and they talk about the big red book that gets passed out at these Bill Gothard seminars. I've got one of those.
Yeah.
It's not here. It's at my parents' house because my parents had them because they took me to Seattle to hear these James Dobson / Bill Gothard seminars where the man is the head of the house. It's a patriarchal society. There's no TVs. We had a TV. So I mean, even my parents, they went to Bill Gothard's bullshit, but we didn't live by it. Thankfully, we weren't like the oh God, what's that? Who's the family that had a TV show that's got like, I don't know, 11 billion kids because you're supposed to multiply until you can't.
No, that's a different religion.
That's still part of the Gothards.
Wasn't
That
it
is-
called?
That is still part of. They are still a part of the shiny happy people's ideology,
Happy shiny people.
11 kids and counting?
huh?
Or is it?
Yes,
The Duggards.
11
Yeah.
kids in counting.
The Duggars.
That was the Duggards.
That's
Okay.
18 kids in county.
Not,
I thought it was 21.
Oh, maybe now.
Yeah, they're up there now.
It is an order founded in 1540 by Ignatius of Loyola and 6 companions with the approval of Pope Paul III. Now that is Jesuits. The
Yeah.
Jesuit order.
Right.
What they are now is not approved by the Pope.
Okay. Okay.
What they became is not approved. There's still Jesuits that are. It is just a sect of the Catholic Church, but it's one of the extremities. Like
It's
they are
extremist.
extreme.
Yeah.
And-
Yeah. Oh
and-
fuck yeah. Look at the Jesuit oath. Oh my God, they talk about butchering people and shit.
It's not even that. They are interfering in in politics all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
That is one of their main jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Friend.
I know. I watched some of it.
Now, actual
From
Jesuits,
history of
like
it, not-
people
not-
who still follow the original idea,
Right.
they still do great ministry work and believe in following the work of Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's the idea of being a Jesuit.
Okay.
What they are has nothing to do with the Pope anymore, and it never did. They were just
No.
approved by him.
Okay.
Friend,
That's why I wanted to bring this up to you because you're the Catholic.
no one makes any decisions on the Pope other than the actual Vatican Council.
Okay.
Friend, it is the royal order that makes the decision of who is the next Pope when.
So the royal order. Do they know who the Pope's going to be before?
No.
Okay.
No. But when it comes time to make the decision, like,
It's like 13.
what they show in the movie Angels and Demons
Right.
is real. They actually do chain the door, and then the chains are
There's like
sealed in wax.
like 13 of them or something, isn't there?
Yes. And they do it until they no longer have a stalemate. And I
Like a
can't.
jury.
It's black smoke if they don't choose, and white if they do.
Okay. That's probably where the Black Pope idea came from. Maybe.
And I don't know. The thing I don't actually know is if they still starve them.
Starve them?
It used to be that they would fast until they've made a decision.
Okay.
So it helped them make it faster.
No. Because you're not supposed to take anything into your body during
No,
that
you
pure
don't
process.
have a consumption during
Yeah.
that process because you have to be pure.
So going off that,
Yeah, that's what you
I wonder, and to clarify, I hate Trump. I do not like Trump whatsoever. But I wonder if Trump was a wild card that the people voted on, and he wasn't supposed to be in power, which is why everybody's against him. No.
well,
I don't think so. I think it's just that we had no other
Okay.
fucking option.
Well, no, the
Oh, no,
problem
no,
is I think everyone says everyone's against him, but they're not. That's the problem. Everyone that is against him says that, but everyone's that, like, the problem is, if everyone was against him, he wouldn't have made it.
No.
No,
Well,
he has a massive amount of supporters still.
Oh, yeah.
well, the thing is, with Trump was, back then, CNN put him on because it was ha-ha, funny. Oh,
Right.
look, the crazy guy is going. And I think everybody discounted the fact, because nobody thought that he would actually get the nomination. But the Republicans are running a bunch of, it's the same old people, every year.
Yep.
And the people, the independents that year, it was, 8 years of Obama. It's generally we got to turn over to a different party. They do this stuff. And so it lightning a ball. And they kept putting that crazy person out there, and he kept saying crazy things, and it caught a foothold to a group of Americans who had been told, right or wrong, for the past however many decades, they were wrong. And it got a bunch of white voters who thought,
we can't fully say that either.
We're not heard anymore by our government. Well, this guy, a Northeast liberal who doesn't believe in God, who never believed in God until it was politically convenient, it was a perfect storm. But they put him on. The mainstream media put him on as a joke, and it got his message out. And guess what they're going to do again? With the exception of MSNBC, who says they're not going to do it.
Yeah, bullshit. All I hear about every day is Trump. Every fucking day.
They don't put him on the air on MSNBC. They don't put his speech, but the rest of them do.
But they should. Okay, so that's my problem that I'm having with the media and everything else. If this person is actually on the presidential bill running for freaking president, okay? Yes, we should put both sides on air. Because people need to actually hear what they actually think.
Why? Our votes don't matter. Illuminati decides.
That's kind of
in order to make an educated decision, you need to listen to both sides of the conversation. So if a news channel is only running one side, whether it's Trump's or whether it's whoever the hell ends up running against it, okay, then you're only getting half informations. You're only getting one side, and the whole point in news is it's supposed to be objective in that.
It's not anymore.
It's not.
It hasn't been for like 4 years.
But I mean, that was like the whole point, was that we're supposed to be objectively looking at the situation from both sides.
News isn't news anymore. It's the opinion of who's giving the news.
Fuck, the weather isn't subjective anymore.
Yeah.
The weather report is like, you get a snowstorm and the weatherman is... First of all, crying.
Did you see the weatherman have a meltdown here? I think it was during COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had to pull him off the air.
Look out your window.
Who cares?
And he walked
You'll
out.
figure it out. Look out your window. It's not like any of us are going outside.
Actually, I'm getting more accurate weather reports from like TikTok and
it was hilarious.
Crap like that than the actual news station. It's surprising.
Have you guys seen that news guy that weather man that he takes song challenges and he puts them into his weather report?
Yes, I've seen him.
Oh, they are hilarious.
Like he did Eminem's song "My Name Is," and he actually did like parts of the song into the weather report. He is the most hilarious guy.
That's funny.
And it actually works with what's going on.
Yeah.
Like, it's super weird, but it's freaking hilarious.
He did "Down with the Sickness" in there. Like for an. He's from Texas, right?
Yeah, what was it? It's gonna be cold out there, so you better bundle up, or you're gonna have to get down with the sickness.
Oh,
like,
do you know him, Rick?
Huh?
Do you know Rick?
Yeah.
John wants to know if you know him.
Yeah,
because you're from Texas. He's from Texas. Well, yeah.
I worked in television. Hey, true story. I almost fought a weatherman on television when I worked at the station, and he called my director an unflattering term for a woman, and I followed him back into the studio. There was a tornado on the ground nearby, and I didn't care. I was going to... He wasn't even supposed to be there. That we had this little... I don't know if she was Mormon or what. She was very religious. But she was very sweet. Little blonde girl from Texas A&M University. She'd been there about a month. Here's her time to be on the air. She was a weekend weather person. And we're in front of the camera screaming at each other, and we don't have headsets, or he doesn't have his IFB, his little earpiece in, and we're right in front of her and face to face, and somebody finally is like, Rick, get out of the way, and I'm like, oh, are we going over there? Yes. I'm like, okay. That wasn't the only time the two of us almost got into a fight, but yes. So I don't know the other weather guy, but I know that one. He's no longer in weather. He got kicked out. So
Friend.
he didn't like gay people at all.
We just figured with how much Canada's kind of like Texas, that since we are supposed to know everyone in Canada, friend, you should know everyone in Texas.
I haven't lived there here, so that guy was probably a 15-year-old when I left.
That's like the ones that walk up to me and say, "Hey, my Uncle Bob was in the Army. Do you know him?"
Yeah.
Yeah, but you do.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I really don't.
No.
I mean, you've been in the Army since the first war. Like, not like the Great War, but like the one that was fought with Mesopotamia.
Fine, I was in trench
When they were using
warfare.
spears and rocks.
Well, you know, like, I gotta tell you, even in like small towns like this, when somebody hears, "Oh, you're from Concrete. Do you know this person, and this person?" And I go, "I have never heard of those three people." Well, you said you lived in Concrete, and I'm like, yeah, but it doesn't mean I know every single person that lives in the vicinity. Like,
So let's go down the Hollywood rabbit hole.
oh,
You wanted to talk Hollywood, I know.
Doc Hollywood?
No.
Oh, Talk Hollywood.
Doc Hollywood.
I thought you said Doc Hollywood. I was
No.
like, what?
Oh.
That's not the Hollywood I thought you were going down.
So
Nobody
you see all this. Oh my God. So and so, did you see the sign they threw? That was the sign of the devil, or that was the sign of the Illuminati. Do you think there's Illuminati ties in Hollywood?
I think there's ties to freaking everything in Hollywood. They're just like every other
Not
person.
true.
No.
There is no ties to kindness in Hollywood.
Yeah.
That is not
and
true.
there's no
either.
ties to the spaghetti culture, garbage goat.
Oh, there are.
I
there
know
are
that
good
because I'm high-ranking members of both.
And you know what? They're just like everyone else. It's a damn job. So they're going to have the same emotions and feelings as everybody else. Just because you watch a fake emotion that they have on TV doesn't mean that's who they actually are. They're playing their part.
Well, okay, so I watched a thing. He was an exorcist, and he said Taylor Swift was invoking the devil in her concert and conjuring demons. So don't go to Taylor Swift's concerts because she's conjuring demons. And so I watched the video. I'm like, okay, so that's theatrical. There's no realism to anything she's fucking doing. She's singing a goddamn song.
So, you know, anytime somebody gets super famous, and I mean, there's levels of famous, but there's always that one person that, like, stands out as being super famous, okay? Whether it's a musician, whether it's, like, John Wayne for the longest time was, like, the most famous Hollywood star, you know what I mean?
Bill Cosby.
Okay? There's always something that's going to be said about they must have made a pact with the devil in order to get this famous. They must have done this, this, and this. That has been from the beginning of freaking time.
How many pop stars do you know that cross the border from, like, international pop star for an NFL player?
Actually,
because she's doing a great job with the fucking Chiefs this year.
Oh God!
This is getting more airtime than most of the players.
But you know that they kicked her out of being able to. What was it? They kicked her out of being able to attend an NFL game
because she took over the NFL.
Because
they took that back.
Yeah, they rescinded that, but they had it out there for a while because so much attention was on her.
Yeah.
That it completely took it off of the game that was being played. That a ton of people started coming to the games to potentially see Taylor Swift.
Right.
It had nothing to do with, they didn't even know football.
But it fucking worked.
It did.
I mean, we're in the Super Bowl.
Sold those damn seats out.
About that. NFL only cares about money. Money. She was never kicked out of anything at any point. She's been to every one of the games that she could. I think she's missed 2 all season. The NFL loves money. There's a reason they show her on every broadcast, but every game she's at, they put her up there at least 3 or 4 times. They don't do as much as they did in the beginning, but they still show her. Why?
Because they're selling their tickets.
Yes, and they
$10,000 for a cheap
I have
seat.
heard what colleges say. I mean,
Okay.
Money, money, money. That's all they ever care.
I'm going to make a prediction.
Uh-oh.
So, my first prediction
Chiefs win.
of the year is yes.
Yeah.
But for the first half of the Super Bowl game,
Mhm.
they are going to get their asses handed to them.
For the Chiefs?
Yes.
Yep.
She will not be at the game for the first half. She has a concert
She has
in
a concert
Japan,
in Japan,
that
yeah.
morning.
Yep.
And then
And she is
coming
supposedly
second
taking a
half.
helicopter back, but she will not be there till at least halftime.
I wonder if she's the halftime entertainment.
No, it's Usher and Reba McEntire. Two
Oh,
things that should
That
never
is a
go
really,
together.
really weird mashup.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's going to
Okay.
be bad.
Well, you know, every
God.
once in a while they always do like these weird ass mashups at like the Super Bowl, and you're like, "What the hell did I just witness?"
Yeah, like the one
like
with
that should have never
Right.
happened.
one-
Okay.
like the one a few years ago with the person with the
Paula, I have 2 problems with this photo.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
First of all, no one ever wants to see Pete Carroll naked. That, I even
I bet Pete Carroll-
but Pete Carroll doesn't want to see Pete Carroll naked.
Nope.
Friend. And second of all, you should never post a meme where he's not chewing gum. That's not okay. He
By the
needs
way,
to be
his
chewing gum.
replacement rolled down today.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. I'm more excited about his statue.
They got a Pete Carroll statue?
They're going to put
He's
one in
getting
front of
a
the stand. They're going to
statue?
try and find every piece of gum that he's ever chewed at a game and make a statue
They're
of it.
just gonna take it
Oh,
and
God.
scrape the gum wall and stick it there.
Actually, he already has a portrait at the gum wall of him made out of gum.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
That is
God.
the grossest shit ever. I am surprised that they didn't power wash the hell out of that and like take it all down during COVID.
They did.
Did they?
Yeah, but it's back up. Like
They
they
did.
do it every once in a while.
Oh, okay. Well, that's still
It has
fucking
been done.
disgusting.
Like I don't. Nikki, do you remember how often they do that?
Oh God, it's
Is
like,
it like-
every 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
That is so gross, dude. That is
That is
beyond
disgusting.
disgusting. Like, why would you
Yes,
want to
that's bad.
touch gum that a whole bunch of people have had in their mouth? That's like where pandemics fucking start,
Well,
guys.
first of all, if
I
you're using a
know.
power washer, you shouldn't be touching the gum.
Yeah,
Started in Seattle.
I know. It's just disgusting, though. Ugh.
And they don't touch it. They just they power wash it off the wall and sweep it towards the troll under the bridge, and he eats it.
That's what I
Okay,
do.
that makes sense.
That explains things.
Oh God, that troll.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Loved troll of Seattle.
Rick, you've been replaced.
Now, we were talking, Eric was talking about Hollywood conspiracies, but pop culture conspiracies. What about the one with the, and it's an older one, the Beatles, that Paul McCartney died and was
Oh.
replaced?
Yeah.
I met
Yeah.
the one that wrote the book.
Okay, so there's like 18 conspiracies surrounding the Beatles.
Right.
Like, there is a whole bunch of them.
Red rum. Red rum. Yeah.
There's one that says they all died
Yes,
in
I heard
India.
that.
AI recreated them.
Well, no, but like they were all they were these like goody two shoes type guys, and then they went to India and they came back and they were different.
AI recreated them.
I don't think so.
No?
No. It's not quite that good where like you can see the AI.
Oh wait, they're aliens.
Friend.
They
So,
died and aliens took their form and came back and they weren't good guys anymore.
okay, Robert Johnson. I don't know if you guys have
Awesome.
ever heard of Robert Johnson, but
The blues.
the blues singer, like 100% says that he sold his soul to the devil at the local
And they
crossroads
came back the best blues
so
singer.
that he could become famous. but that the devil told him he only had a specific amount of years. I think it was like 10 years
10
or
years.
something. And that then he would die and his soul was his, or whatever the hell it was.
Yep.
But he 100% was like, yes, this is how I got my fame. This is how I'm good at this. And he even made the song something about down at the crossroads or something like that.
The crossroads is where the devil meets you.
Yeah, he was like a Mississippi dude.
Yep.
And that's exactly what freaking happened. Like, he was famous for like 10 years, and then he died.
I heard a mic drop.
Like, natural causes. It wasn't even anything that was like, it was like a heart attack or some shit.
Yep.
Well, I mean, that's what happened to, Chandler, Matthew Perry from Friends.
Elbows up.
I believe that. I don't think that he sold his soul to the devil per se, but there is a part, if you watch his 2020 interview, where he says that he made a pact with God, actually, that if he made him famous, he would finally be happy. And it's like, the whole, like, smack you across your face with the opposite happening.
Yeah.
Kind of the same thing, but devil versus God.
Well, and there's been a lot of people through history that swear people have made pacts with crossroad demons because of the fact that they got so famous so fast, and their fame only lasted for that 5 to 10 year period or whatever the hell.
Window.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of nuts.
And it is really actually weird, the amount of people that are only famous for that 10-year period of time and then die weirdly.
Right. Well, it's like Michael Jackson, like The King, right? Elvis Presley, all that kind of stuff, too. I mean, and they're all deemed like kings, right?
Wait, Elvis ain't alive no more?
It's the pick of destiny. That's what it
Elvis
is.
ain't alive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I swear I saw him in Walmart today.
I've seen Elvis more since he died.
That's a conspiracy theory.
An island with FK and Marilyn Monroe. That's
He died on the toilet eating up.
Well, even certain stars are talking about the what do they call it? The golden juice. Drink the juice, and you got the money, honey.
Yeah, you got star power because you drink that golden juice. Yeah.
What's
Just
the
like
actual golden juice?
Just like the Fountain of Youth shit. I think it's probably just somebody's pee in a jar and they think it's funny to watch all these people drinking it. They're like, look, they drank the golden juice.
With Canadian maple syrup.
You should post tomorrow. Well, I drank the juice.
See me the
And it's
big
corn. I'm good.
You
Why
can sell your pee
am
in
I
a
not
jar?
famous yet?
Yeah, why am I not famous? I'm just waiting to my audience.
Well, they're already selling bathwater, so why not?
They sell this at Walmart for
But I'm starting an
$1.95.
OnlyFans account selling my pee.
Yeah, but actually,
We'll call it coal
there's
piss.
this one chick that made over $1 million from that.
Coal piss?
Yep.
No, bathwater.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Selling her
but
bath
you-
water.
Which girl? What was that, John? What was her name?
I can't remember.
Pokemon? No, I don't think it was
yeah,
her.
I've seen.
It
Belle
was,
Delphine.
yeah, it was one of those people.
Belle Delphine.
Yeah.
And I think someone put up a chart, and I think it was over $1 million that she made just from that.
Yeah, and then she got in trouble
Yeah, because people were drinking it, and
because she wasn't 18.
she isn't.
She wasn't at that point.
Oh,
Yes.
there you go.
She turned 18 halfway
What's her
through that
top
year,
priority?
and then she went and did her taxes. And the IRS contacted the government and said, "Hey, so this is how she's making her money." And
Selling
so I
bathwater.
imagine everyone that bought it also got in trouble.
I think she also has a G Fuel flavor now.
Ew.
Yeah.
Yeah,
might be wrong.
well, people are gross. Whatever.
Yep.
People, dude, people have their own weird ass fetishes and shit. If bathwater's your thing, more power to you, bro. Like,
Sure.
just saying, at least it's not like something that's like hurting anybody but yourself.
What the fuck, John?
Oh, God. Yeah. He's an alien.
I wonder how much he makes on Foot Finder.
Is that who you're cheating on your girlfriend with?
Oh my god.
We talked about this. You have to stop that.
Is he a part of the John Cole yet?
Just part of the Russian Republic.
Is this the name of it? Is it John Cole or Pineapple?
Say that a little louder into the mic. Come on.
No.
No. Yeah, that's what we thought.
Friend, okay. The Beatles, the Paul McCartney thing, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what to believe there.
They could have. Who knows?
Well, you look at Tina Foster's book, The Attorney, Plastic Maca, and they've got the bio. All the facial features and everything, they've got it down to the science. She had a number of people in that book talking about proving it scientifically.
So you know that they said that there was a theory going around, and it's still going around, that Joe Biden actually died the first year of his term, and that it's body doubles and AI that is now our president.
Well, why wouldn't they make a better AI?
Yeah, one that doesn't fall.
I feel like if they were making AI our president, I feel like
or
he wouldn't fall
conspiracies
too much.
around political people who are wearing masks.
Yeah, because that's not them.
Yeah.
That's a body double.
But it does kind of make sense how he's sleeping all the time.
How many
just
movies
low on
have been made
battery.
about that? Dave, wasn't it Dave?
Maybe
Yeah.
That's why
Yep.
he's sleeping all the time. Low
Yeah.
on battery.
And you know, to be perfectly honest, though, I mean, some of these like major dictators and stuff, okay, like I could see where they might do that just to keep the regime going after the person died. Like, you know what I mean? Like if like I'm sorry, but like if Kim Jong-un like passed away like tomorrow, I could see where they would say that he was staying in this secluded place or something.
Oh no, he's already got something for that. His daughter is going straight in after he dies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, and then he is.
And she's ready.
Yes,
But
he has been.
But you know,
You
you know what I mean? Like just like stuff like that, where I could see them saying this person's still alive to get whatever agenda done before
Yeah.
it passes over to the
Remember when
next
he
person.
was like, they thought that he was poisoned or something. This thing happened where somebody was murdered, or his brother was murdered. Something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
He
his
was-
brother was murdered. He,
Okay.
yeah, his brother was actually murdered.
Yeah, but he
Oh,
like
was it
disappeared for a
right?
while,
Yeah.
and yeah, it was
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah, there was a-
Yeah, that was really weird. Like they couldn't find him for like weeks, and then all of a sudden he shows up on camera. All of a sudden, I mean, it was just
Yeah, and everybody was like, "Is he really dead?" And that's just like AI or a body double or blah blah blah. Like there was that huge shit about that for like
Well,
a
and
couple
there
of
was-
months.
right.
Yeah, the big rumor was the sister had taken power, and that she was, the one running things, and then also, so clearly that was. But this is U.S. intelligence.
Yeah,
This is stuff that's being reported on in mainstream news. So our intelligence. That's how closed off they are. We have no idea.
no.
Unless Dennis Rodman tells us, we have no idea.
yeah.
So-
And to be perfectly honest, with countries like that, they are so secluded and so their own thing
Yeah. Yeah.
that anybody outside of there, you wouldn't even know. Like, we've never been to North Korea to actually be able to see the person in person. It doesn't mean
Yeah.
he doesn't exist, but, it's like one of those things.
Yeah,
if
it's like
you
saying
don't
unicorns aren't
have,
real.
then do they exist or do they not?
Maybe he really
You know?
doesn't poop.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
well,
and
it's like even when Hitler died, that's a conspiracy theory too. Did he really kill himself? Did we shoot him? That
did
kind
he
of thing,
really even
so-
die, or did he move to Argentina?
Argentina, yeah.
Now,
Right.
there is something funny about Hitler. They tried to that he actually did kill himself. They got the bones and they've done the genetic testing, and it's him. The Russians held out on that for years because, well, it's the Soviet Union, and they weren't going to give us the benefit of the doubt. But they actually did, to try to throw him off the scent of his burned body so they wouldn't desecrate the remains. They had one of his body doubles that they had killed, because he had body doubles.
Tons of
They all
them.
do.
Tons of them.
Yeah.
I mean, goddamn.
Fucking everybody has a
Saddam
body
Hussein
double.
had like 30 of them.
So they found, they had the guy killed, and they were trying to pass it off. You can see Soviet soldiers holding who they believed at the time to be Hitler, but it was, it wasn't him. Yeah, they had the intelligence guys come in and immediately go, nope, not him, and went on. Yeah.
Well, don't you wonder how many days it took for that to come out that he was actually dead? I mean,
Well,
am I the only person who thinks this?
Right.
Well, and so that's my question about Bin Laden.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
come on.
And I mean,
Since when do we take a body and dump it off
In the ocean.
into the ocean from? I mean, what the fuck?
right.
And we got technology that can zoom in from space and look at the kind of cigarette you're smoking, but we can't find one guy. Come the hell on. And now we're gonna, oh my god, we found him and we killed him, and we're gonna dump the body off a battleship.
Well, it's just every freaking month you'll get something on Facebook that pops up that says this and such celebrity dies at the age of whatever. Okay,
Right.
and then you got the celebrity on there going, "Dude, I'm not dead.
Yeah, I'm right here.
Not
Hello.
dead.
Yeah. Yeah, you get those
That
all the
happens, every
freaking
day
time,
now.
right? Somebody somewhere is like, "Oh my god, did you hear that this person died?" And you're like, "No way!" You look it up, and it's some fake news thing.
Yeah, I fall for that shit.
Pauly
sometimes.
Shore did it to himself.
Well, and
Yeah.
Facebook needs to take that down because it's that's a Facebook thing.
Yeah.
It's so
Right.
stupid. Facebook should be on that. Care about the people that they're spreading lies. It's
Right.
terrible.
Pauly Shore did that to himself. He actually made a movie called Pauly Shore is Dead,
Oh, I think
where he
I've
actually
heard that.
spread the rumor himself.
Yeah. Well, I mean, who was that guy? Kaufman. Andy Kaufman
Yep.
was the original I'm dead. But just so I can sit and see what people say about me at my funeral. You know?
Yeah.
Man on the moon.
Like that one.
No, it was the movie of Andy Kaufman's life, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it was.
Mm-hmm.
Jim Carrey.
Right?
That's funny.
Holy shit, Paul is right.
Wow. Why won't it let you?
It
That
won't
is
even let you
weird.
search for Adolf.
I didn't. That is weird. Will it let you search for Nazi?
Yeah, well, the whole guys is we don't want to promote. We don't want people.
Huh.
I found one.
Learning
Are you
history-
talking about in chat?
Yeah,
In the
Yeah.
gifts.
I found one.
So for our listeners, if you're not in the chat room, you're missing half the show. You're missing half of what we talked about in the show.
Okay, I
Yeah.
will tell you, if you spell Nazi wrong, they come up.
Hmm?
Yeah, if you
But
just
you
put
have
in
to spell it
NAZ,
wrong.
Wow,
if you
weird.
just put in NAZ.
Or if you put in Nazie, they come up too.
Huh.
But if you put in actual Nazi, it's censored.
Well, I mean, I get the sensory kind of thing in a way because if you're using it in a bad way to spread hate, that is legit.
You can't dictate how people are gonna. That people will. If you're raised in the Klan, you're gonna be.
Yeah.
Chance you're gonna be racist. You can be. You don't have to be in the Klan to be racist. I grew up around people that said terrible things. It wasn't my family. It was, people that were adjacent to my dad in his work environment, people that would come through in life and everything else. But yeah, I mean, it was the South. It was in the 70s. It was, They're yeah. So
Okay, so this is
we're gonna,
this is something that kind of pisses me off about modern day culture, and I will give it that. Okay, what was acceptable 20, 30, 50 years ago it is definitely not acceptable now. We've become more accepting of people and everything else, sure. But we cannot sit there and say that this comedian that did an act back in the 1960s and is still working today and has said, hey, that was the culture then. That's what we were doing then. Everybody did that then. Mm-hmm. It doesn't mean that he hasn't grown and become a different person and believes in different idealism than he did back when that was the idealism of the day. Like, so we cannot take all of these things and say, erase them, take them down, do all this because it still happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they'll sit there, they'll apologize for the way they acted back then, but back then, that wasn't something to apologize for.
Well, not to mention, back then, their views might have been different. People grow.
People grow, yes, that's exactly it. Not only that...
They're supposed to grow.
Not only that, but we are sitting there and we are judging actors on a script that was written for them to play.
Yeah.
This isn't their actual opinion on anything. This is a script that they took and they played because that was the script of the day. That was how they made the money for their table and the food for their table. So yes, I'm going to do this. Eh?
Yeah. Well, it's like, have you seen the Holiday Inn or the blackface moment there?
Yeah, just like that. Yeah.
They took it out. I was watching it because I have Prime Amazon.
Yeah.
And they took it out.
They did.
Another version though, like that they had it in. So I mean, you guys know I'm cooking all the time, and my children, like I listen to stuff like with the TV mostly on, and I really wasn't watching, and that part came up. And the children were like, what is that? So then I had to explain it to them. And you should have seen their faces. But I was like, well, back then, this was the socially acceptable thing. Now we know it's wrong. But it's still a part of history. And I was trying to tell them how it's I think it's important to leave it in there because I think it's a part of history. So we remember not to do that kind of thing, not to mock people, not to do that. But yeah, there's a lot of things that they just take out of movies now or won't show.
Or they just cancel the entire movie. Like, you can't find it anywhere.
No.
YouTube does that a lot. They'll take a lot of stuff out.
Well, it's like you can't even probably watch like MASH, like the TV series without seeing something.
There are
that would be considered underlying racism, yes.
I will say, my dad is not the most... I know, like, I would normally say he's not the most woke person, but after reading what the definition of woke is, neither am I, so... but he's not the most liberal person. Certain things still make him angry, certain things still make him laugh. But... for the first time in 20 years, Dad watched Blazing Saddles a couple months ago. And it actually made him uncomfortable.
Wow.
Oh, really?
Yeah, some of the jokes in it, he said, it made him uncomfortable to watch.
Well, but the point of the movie was that it being a racist because it's a black sheriff.
But not just the racism ones, Rick. It's the general
derogative jokes that are in most of Monty Python
jokes
stuff.
that aren't just against races, but everything.
Oh.
Like things that were acceptable back then that really aren't now.
All those TV shows back then,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look at half of the old Disney shows. Okay? Old Disney animation. Okay? I mean, look at Peter Pan. There's a song in Peter Pan that talks about what makes the red man red.
Right.
Hey, there's the crows.
For those
that-
of you wondering, it's the fire water.
Oh, just so you know.
Well, that is another thing that my kids did notice, and my daughter said it years even ago, and she's like, why do they say that? That's terrible. Did they paint their faces red? Because that doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, no, that's not what it means. And I had to tell her, and she's like, that's horrible. How did they get away with all these things? And yet they did. Like in Lion King, right? The person spells out sex, like the illustrator spells out sex. Remember when he slips or whatever and dust comes up and it spells it out?
Yeah.
There's so many things.
That's what I'm saying.
Well,
so, like, you even look at, like, 10 years ago, 20 years ago Disney, and you have things in there that you're, like, cringing at now, but back then, you were laughing at that because, oh, hey, look at what that guy...
I would say the worst one is still
Yeah.
Pinocchio.
Yeah, Pinocchio is a terrible, like, concept in the first place. Like, that's just horrible.
Crows and
It really is.
Yes.
Yeah.
The whole story of Pinocchio and the way that Pinocchio got started as a story and everything else is just
I
the
wanna
most
be a
screwed up
real
shit
boy.
ever.
Yeah, like if you read the original version of Pinocchio, they like tortured that
They
character.
tortured that
they
character
burned off
and
his
all
feet.
kinds of shit.
It was
Like, it was a comic
horrible.
strip where they just, like, beat the hell out of this kid and tortured him in different ways. And then,
but he wasn't a real boy.
no, it was okay because he wasn't a real boy. Exactly.
yeah,
I mean, it was a terrible, terrible thing to base a movie off of in the first place.
yeah. But like
Well,
that's
the
every
original
Disney
Cinderella, as you know, is horrible. Like, I mean,
Oh,
the
for
real
sure.
story.
Correct.
film. Cinderella.
So-
For sure. Well, just like the original Mulan was actually based on a person that did what she did. And then when they figured out she was a woman, they didn't give her medals, they didn't give her accommodations.
They executed her.
threw her in the dirt and cut off her head because she
thought
broke law.
Yeah.
Mm.
And it's like with Pocahontas, they
Oh, Pocahontas was fucked.
yeah.
Paul asked, but was Blazing Saddles a product of its time, or was it a satire illuminating the idiocy of the general American viewpoint language? She says she feels it's a satire and ahead of its time, but that could be her white privilege clouding her judgment. Thing is, Paula, both are correct. It was still a product of its time.
Yeah. But I really think that the second one is the idiocy of the general American public viewpoint is really true.
Absolutely, it's both.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But even, like, that's the thing. A lot of the jokes are no longer acceptable.
Yeah.
Dude, a lot of the jokes in Young Frankenstein are not acceptable anymore.
No.
Like, they make fun of people that have differences and all kinds of
Almost
crap.
all of the comedy from back then.
Yeah,
is not
that's what I'm
acceptable.
saying, though. Is everything from, like, the 1960s, 1970s you can look at now and find underlying racist or,
Yeah, like-
sexist or whatever
Like
crap in it.
eventually, the comedy that we listen to now is going to be completely unacceptable in like 20, maybe 30 years.
Absolutely. Because
Yeah.
that's the
Right.
way that it works.
Yeah.
It's not sweet. Well, and
just
that's
like-
what I said about MASH. I mean, MASH was on, and my children walked into the room, and I'm like, I gotta turn it off right away. And I never thought I'd have that thought because I watched it my entire childhood, like the reruns of it.
Yeah.
And I'm here like, oh my God, grab the remote, turn it off, because I didn't want the kids to see.
Do you think the fact that we can look at these old shows and think that they were bad, that they're bad now? Do you think that's a sign of society's progression?
Yeah,
No,
but it's
not
sad
really.
at the same time.
Well, it's also a form of growth too.
Yeah,
it's also a form of
psychological
degression.
growth.
Yeah.
because it's sad though when you realize that something you grew up with or something that you really loved is wrong.
I don't know if it's a sign of growth. I don't know if I
No,
consider
society is what I mean by that.
it that. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think, because, okay, it's no longer acceptable to make fun of a gay person. But now it's completely acceptable to make fun of a trans person.
Right.
We
Yeah,
still have
there's
trans jokes.
Well, I don't know if
It's-
that's really true, but
Well,
It's society.
yes, it is.
Who you are in America and society. Yeah.
Because
Well,
Yeah,
think about
huge
all of
jokes
the
right now
horrible
about
jokes
them
that
in
came
the
out when
Olympics and
Bruce
in-
Jenner changed.
yeah,
This
And
might
that was
be,
mainstream.
This might be seen as kind of off, but at the same time, when is too far too far? So, my opinion, it should have stopped with trans. Now, how many? It seems like I don't even know how to put this
Word
in
it.
words, but.
Well, okay.
You've got all
once
these.
you
Now
let
you've got how
people-
many acronyms?
Yes,
for
and that's what I
LGBT?
said. Once we decided that anybody could be anything they wanted to be, okay,
I want to be
people
a tree.
took that to the extreme. They
Yeah,
really did.
I think it's
Yeah.
gone.
Too far.
Yes,
to-
because I mean,
Yeah,
you, no matter how hard you try, no matter what ends up happening in life, you're never going to be able to be a field of grass.
and I
Like
think
something like that.
I think
you know
it
what I
gets
mean?
worse with
Yeah.
each generation.
Well,
No.
and then people are too scared to say, well, I don't know that that's okay, because then they're shunned,
It's
because
it.
then they're hating a specific group of people.
No, but there's a new trend with young kids, and it's gone beyond young kids. Now you've got 18, 19, 20-year-olds that are trying to do this too. To me, I used to call it daydreaming. But now they think they can leave their mind, and this girl on this video explained it's not astral travel, but now we can actually move our mind into another alternate reality.
Oh, that.
Yeah, I shifting. They
Yeah,
call it
shifters.
shifting.
Yeah.
I
That's originally.
So if I want to, and they use Harry Potter because a lot of them are using Harry Potter as their example, but they want to be Malfoy's girlfriend. So now they can shift their mind, and they can actually go to the Harry Potter realm and become. And they call it shifting.
Yeah, but
Yeah, they call it shifting, a whole
Explain.
new
But
thing.
it's not really that. Because what it originally started as was at what's the thing called where you're in dreams but you can control it. I can't remember.
It's not even it's.
But it originally started with people writing down their fantasy world they want to be in, then putting it under
Okay.
their pillow and sleeping. But it slowly evolved to people actually thinking they have magical powers and can travel to
to
different
their
worlds.
fantasy realms. Yes.
It's kind of weird, and
Don't
it's
go.
Don't go.
and it's kind of a sub part of trends that's slowly dying out because many.
Is it dying out?
Yes, because anyone who actually does it is considered
Cringe.
cringy.
Yeah.
Like it like with people who like do other stuff like that, or like, yeah. But it's slowly dying out. But that's how it originally started, and people are still kind of doing it, but it's slowly dying.
So it started with lucid dreaming.
Yes,
Yeah,
it
and
started
then it
with
moved
Right.
on to now everybody believes that they can actually transfer into these worlds that they created in their own minds to become what they need to become in the world they created
Yeah,
in their
they're
own
all
mind.
magical girls.
And half of the time, these people actually
Crazy.
just start living in that world
than the real
more
world.
than their real world.
Right, and that's
So it's
what
like
the problem is. Come on, face
disassociation
life.
disorder, but
Don't.
baselined.
Yeah, you're
You
so
don't
right.
wanna-
I've got a lot of those people calling me for readings, and they want me to buy into the fact that they think if they kill themselves, they will be on another planet because they don't like this one. And
Yeah.
I had to block tons of freaking people.
Yeah, well,
Crazy.
it's like when the Avatar movie first came
That's
out.
about it.
Yeah.
At one point in time, do you call out crazy?
I know, right? 'Cause
I
you don't know what
can-
to do
Because you
you're already psychotic.
can't, and that's the thing is you can't without offending
No,
a
absolutely.
whole group of people, and then you end up being labeled as racist or sexist or this or that
That's-
because you don't know how to approach someone and say, I think that you might need some help with this.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
it's not a matter of you are totally against that person, but in certain circumstances, there are certain things where all you need is, like, you do need to see a therapist and get this checked out, because you can't offer yourself to live in another world. Like, that's not the way that works,
That's not the way it works.
Yeah, and that's why with how our generation kind of does it, we have to word it very carefully, in order not to offend anyone, be racist, be sexist, and you kind of have to go through a vine. And then you got to go close to one of their friends that is a female, so it's not masculine.
No, and we can't, as a society, even talk about the issues like that, because then
you're offending so many
offending this person, and you're
that's where
hating
the
on this group
division
of
of
people.
countries, that's where the division of the world, that's where division of... Because nobody can get on the same page, nobody can get along.
Or in a reality.
Well, and,
but at the same
and the
time,
problem that I have with it too is that certain people really do have mental health issues.
Mental health is not recognized today. It's not
help
handled
for their mental health issues, but instead we just perpetuate into them and make it way worse for that person in the long run.
Okay, so here's the thing.
You're right. 100%, you're right.
If I offend someone with something I say, I am totally willing to apologize. Not for what I said, for the fact that you were offended by it.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, if you really feel that way, you still feel that way.
Exactly. Exactly. Friend, I don't say anything that either I don't mean or isn't to poke fun at life itself. I'll give you an example. This weekend we had a huge party for everyone's birthdays, and my nephew Luke came out on the porch while me and Kayla's sister's wife, Candace and Tiana, they're our family lesbians. That's how I put it. But I tell, like, Candace is one of the greatest guys I know to me. She's my guy friend. So the long-standing joke is everyone has always asked, when are they going to try for another baby? And I said, what are you talking about? They have been for 15 years. So me and Candace were talking about the new baby. They have a granddaughter now, or a grandson. And we were talking about him. Luke came out and she said, someone's having a baby? I said, don't you know Candace is? It finally took. And like, if someone came into that conversation, they would be offended about it.
You have to know the dynamics of the relationship.
Like if the wrong person came and heard that friggin' conversation, they would be offended by what I said. It wasn't meant to offend.
No.
Friend, it's a long-standing joke between me and Candace. Friend, and if they're offended by it, I'm sorry, that's not my fault.
Yeah, they can go suck a big left toe.
I think that's where, if you don't know the dynamics of a relationship, we've been friends with Candace, and so, get the hell over it.
A lot of people would be offended the way I talk about you and how old you are.
I know. I was around with the dinosaurs. I know. I've accepted that fucking fact.
Anybody can be offended by anything.
You're ageist, though, goddammit.
Yeah, a lot of people would say I'm an ageist. No, he's my best friend. It's the only thing I have to make fun of you for. Kind of.
There is quite a one.
But like,
it's kind of like our group here. We're actually all pretty open people as far as being able to discuss something and not get overly upset about the other person's opinion on what's going on or anything like that. Okay, but I'm sure that at some point I've said something that might have been off-putting to one of you guys. Just right, and
oh my god, I offended her. She's throwing a mug at my head now.
So even a group of people that are able to get over religious differences, that are able to get over all of these differences about each other, you're still going to occasionally say something that isn't couth.
But at the same time, I think that's where your level of friendship comes into play. And I know we're going over a little bit here.
It's okay.
But you know what? Someone outside that doesn't know us gets offended. That's at that point in time. That's their problem.
Well, see, and that's the thing. That's the thing about like me and Cole. Me and Cole, our love language is making fun of each other. Okay, we will sit there and we will say some of the most horrible crap to each other. Because that's what we do. It's funny. It's our way of like showing love to each other is by making fun of each other for stupid things. Now, I've had people on the outside of that come up to me and be like, "Oh my God, just the way that they talk to you, like, how can you handle it? What? You should get out of this relation." And I'm like, "Whoa, man. Okay, I don't think you actually understand the dynamic here."
Well, okay, like my newest thing with Kayla is one of the smartest people I know, but I've started calling her a dumbass. Friend. And when she says, "I'm not dumb," I say, "I know, your ass is." She says, "What do you mean?" I said, "You're talking shit."
Well, okay, perfect example too. When you were raising Jalen, if somebody from the outside heard how you were talking to Jalen, oh my God, they would have freaked out.
Yeah, but the main point of that was also to teach Jalen the difference between someone making fun of him as a person who actually has a problem with what he is,
right,
versus someone who is making fun of him to make a joke and expects him to make one back. Friend,
you're giving him a backbone.
Yeah,
you're giving him thick skin.
I wanted that kid to be able to walk into the world and look at someone who's actually calling him what we're now calling the hard R. That my kids taught me that term, and it there is a huge difference in the way, because Jalen gave me a pass. I'm going to let you guys know that first. I am allowed to say the N-word.
Oh, okay.
I do not use it often. I won't use it that often. But it's a soft R.
Okay.
The R is silent. It's nigga.
Yeah. I got you.
That's brother.
But don't
hard R.
The hard R.
But at the same time, in a different situation, don't go to Seattle and say that.
Yeah. No, and that's the thing. It's a pass. I can only use it at certain times.
Yeah, only at Comic-Con.
But if someone comes up to him and just calls him the N-word with a hard R,
right,
well, then he knows that he has to protect himself. And whether then the difference of what that means, whether he needs to actually like
leave the area,
finish a fight, or walk away, or run away.
But that's my whole point. With if you were cracking a joke to Jalen in the outside, somebody would call you a fucking racist because of how you were talking to him, like 3-4 years ago, compared to now. Now he's almost 18 and.
Well, and like Hunter's half black, and the other day he came up to me and said, "Hey, one of my buddies called me Curious George." And they were calling him a monkey, and I said, "That's not true. Not true at all. Curious George was cute." Like, I took something that was, I would have considered that kid not his buddy.
No.
Friend. But I don't know the dynamic there. Right. So I took that hard situation for him and turned it into something with me and him that, friend, we make fun of each other for all the time.
Wait, Curious George isn't a monkey, though. He doesn't have a tail.
In this universe.
That's the issue you have with that.
I'm just saying.
Same thing, Cole.
Oh, dumbass.
It's not considered a monkey. Doesn't have a tail.
Okay, so if I cut your cat's tail off,
Anyway,
it's not considered a cat because it doesn't
have
have a tail?
Yeah, it's just a native bread.
You know, I think in some regards with this topic, I think society has grown, but is going back down in other areas.
Some ways. Yeah. In certain ways, they're going way backwards. In other ways, they're going way forward.
Yeah. They're expanding where areas they don't need to be expanding in. It's mental health. What part of mental health What's the difference between the, you have to, we don't have resources for mental health.
Well, and
like
the
we
problem is that we need to reach out and start helping these people that actually need the mental health help.
should. Absolutely.
You know?
Right.
But anyway,
I agree with you.
that is a topic for another show.
Yep.
All right.
So I'm going to wrap.
Well,
Let's start wrapping
and
that
there's
up.
so many times I've done so many readings with these kind of people, and I've been like, you have to see a counselor. I cannot help you.
Right.
Yep.
You know.
And that's the same with the paranormal. Paranormal team should always have a mental health professional as part of their team because they have to have, I won't say half, but a good percentage of your people having paranormal issues aren't having paranormal issues. They're having a mental health crisis.
Yep. Now, what's the topic for next week?
Yes.
Astral projection.
Astral
Yes.
projection.
Astral projection?
Next week we will
Is
talk
everyone
about,
comfortable with being here next week? As far as we know.
Yeah.
Yes.
As long as nobody gets sick again.
Just
I'm
finished
good.
finals.
So let's expand on that. Let's talk about lucid dreaming and astral and alternate dimensions and
Ooh, I can talk about.
what's the
Well,
difference?
and remind Nikki and I, because we have a story that literally happened yesterday. So
Okay.
it's gonna be hilarious.
True.
I can talk about
Totally
me
true.
building
So like, no one forget and remind us.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. You guys are wonderful. To the panel, thank you very much, as always, for being here. We love you guys. Friend.
No problem. I know I'm amazing.
Not you. Nobody loves you. Shut up.
Wow.
Go play with your cult or something.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Go play with your little cult friends.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Hey, accept me.
Drink your Kool-Aid. Friend.
will.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we will be back next week with a show on astral travel.
Have a good
Friend.
rest of your night.
Have a great week. Enjoy your time. And,
See you next time.
hey, remember, don't hate.
Nope. Good night.
Data transfer complete. System malfunction. Please evacuate immediately. Program terminated.
Son of a biscuit eater.